you decided that you want to buy a home.
Yes. God.
And your next step is to start searching for info on mortgages on Google and social media. Well, my friends, guess what? Not all the information is created equal, and not everything you see on Google and social media is, in fact, as it says. And let me tell you why. Hi there. I'm Ella Gurfinkel, Senior Loan Officer with Team Ella at Fairway Independent Mortgage. And my goal is not only to bring you the accurate info, but also to dispel a lot of myths that people come to me with through the questions they ask. Today, we're going to talk about stuff that you may find on the interwebs and social media from a lot of the so-called experts that may or may not turn out to be true. And I'll tell you exactly why. Here is thing one. The facts that you're looking up may in fact be accurate, but have you considered that even the most accurate information may actually not apply to you? It's kind of like going on WebMD and self-diagnosing yourself without actually seeing a medical professional or a medical specialist to issue a real and true diagnosis. So here is an example as it applies to mortgages specifically. One question that has come up multiple times just in the last year is portable mortgages. Yes, there's plenty of articles on portable mortgages on the web, but portable mortgages is not something that we actually have in the United States. It's actually a Canadian thing, but there's plenty of information on them online without really addressing the fact that once you cross the US-Canadian border, or Canadian-US border in this case, it's no longer the case because Canadian mortgage rules are Canadian mortgage rules, and the US mortgage rules are US mortgage rules. So a portable mortgage, while alive and well in Canada, is not a thing that you can actually do in the United States. Of course, those are not to be confused with assumable mortgages, and I don't know if some people are referring to assumables as if they were portables, but it's not one and the same. So when you come to me and ask me about the portable mortgage because you saw something about it on the internet, my response to you is going to be, as long as you reside in the United States, a mortgage is not portable. Next example is my favorite, people coming to me asking for FHA loans specifically by name. And when I ask them how did they arrive at that conclusion or why are we looking at FHA specifically, again, internet is cited as the source. Friends, come on.
Oh, come on!
It's like, I guess, saying that one size fits all because FHA has its place and its time, but if you qualify for a better mortgage, then why would you be asking for FHA? It's searching for an analogy here, not coming up with one. If you have a lower credit score and you have less money for down payment and you need to stretch your income further, then yes, FHA is absolutely for you. And I'm not dissing or knocking FHA because it has its place and it has its time and its purpose. But if you have higher credit scores and your debt to income ratios are not stretched, then guess what? Conventional is a better solution. But again, just because you saw it on the internet does not necessarily apply to your situation. And that's where actually grabbing the info from the actual professional in that field is where you want to be, not just I saw it on the internet type of moment. The information that you see online is oftentimes outdated. When you are searching for mortgage information online, look at the date of when that information actually was published. Because if it's been published more than typically 6 months ago, most likely the rules of engagement have changed. Mortgage rules, i.e. guidelines as we refer to them, those buggers, they change a lot. And sometimes they change monthly and sometimes more frequently. So what may have been accurate a few months ago, back in 22, back in 2020, 21, it may not apply today anymore. So I'm not disputing the validity of the information back in the day, but today it may no longer apply. Let's take, for example, new rules on what we refer to as the departing residence when you're going to be renting out the home that you're living in and then moving on and buying your next or new primary residence. Well, up until recently, you only had to provide a rental agreement with the intent to rent, and that was good and well. Not anymore. Now you need to actually show proof of the receipt of security deposit from the proposed renter, and only an actual mortgage professional would be able to lay it out to you the way it's valid now. Consider the source of information. If something is claiming to be a Govy or government website, look at the sourcing, because there is plenty of internet articles when it comes to mortgages, VA, FHA, USDA, that will make it look like they're an official website, but they're in fact not. And by the way, in the mortgage realm, it is absolutely expressly prohibited by the feds to use government insignia, the Veterans Affairs, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the seal of the HUD for FHA loans to make it look like it's actually represented by the government unless it's an actual official government website. I don't have the right to put any of those seals or insignia on any of my printed or online material. So anytime you see it and it is not an actual Govy website, run for cover, because that goes back to consider the source. Is the source of information a bank, a broker, a lender? Is the source of information a blogger? Look at the sourcing before you actually make a determination if the information is correct or not, but better yet, consult a professional. Because nobody like a professional living, breathing, and writing mortgages day in and day out would be able to tell you what information is accurate and what is not. Because again, there is no one size fits all type of mortgage out there. Every situation is different. Mine is different than yours. Yours is different from the next guy, and the list goes on. So at the end of the day, you want to talk to a professional. Yes, it's absolutely fine to start with your search for answers on the internet and compile your list of questions for the mortgage professional from there. There's absolutely no problem with that. But Google, Yahoo Finance, social media are not and should not be your ultimate source of information when looking for answers when trying to buy a home. Talk to professionals, my friends. And if you want to talk to me about this in more depth, comment below and I'll respond, I promise. And I'll see you in the next video.